Hey everyone, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is Puckalicious, and yeah. So, I'm pretty sure this is gonna get the comments really turning. Which, can be a good thing or a bad thing. Several ones that. But anyway, yeah. So like, I've been a little bored for a little while, for a bit now. So I was like, I do what I usually do when I'm bored and I don't want to watch YouTube or Netflix or play games. And I look at not large corporation media. I look at like lesser known media on the internet. And like reputable sources to find out what's happening in the world or what's happening in America. Okay? So I just gave you some context, okay? And so what I then found was that apparently the state of Oregon is making it okay for students to graduate school without, proving that they can do math or write. Because apparently that's racist. Because apparently math and literacy is racist. Even though, it's not. But then that also got me thinking. Oregon is a traditionally blue state. So maybe this is a whole thing that the Democrats are doing, okay? And then I remembered things that Joe Biden said. And then I remember the whole thing about Joe Biden. How back in 2019 he said poor kids are just as capable as white kids, Basically just dissing out all African Americans, all people who are not white. Was this, normally that would be a racist comment, and he would be condemned for that. But for some reason, he has not been condemned for that. At least from what I've seen. And also, yeah, so also, I also found out this weird fact, this slightly terrifying fact about Joe Biden. Okay? So Joe Biden gave a eulogy to a member of the KKK who also brought people into the KKK. Joe Biden gave a eulogy to him. Joe Biden also said that member of the KKK, which is a horrible group, a horrible, disgusting, just awful group. Joe Biden said that person was a mentor for him. Which, maybe not the right thing to say, Joe Biden. Maybe you don't want to be mentored by racist people if you're going to be president. Maybe you don't want to do that. But anyway, yeah. And so then I realized that the whole Democrats plot, I guess you would say. I'm not really sure what to call it. But the Democrat plot. Let's call it the Democrat plot. So the Democrat plot is basically to make it so that all white people are racist, no matter what organization they're in, no matter how non-racist it is. If you are white, you are racist, according to the Democrats. And also, they also give the message that if you are not white, if you are an African American, if you are of Native American descent, if you're from Asia, if you're Indian, if you're whatever, except for being white, you are doomed. You have no chance. That's what the Democrats say. Which of course I completely and utterly disagree with. I completely disagree with that notion. I believe that as long as you try hard enough, regardless of your skin color, as long as you have the right character inside your heart and inside your mind, and as long as you work hard enough, regardless of your skin color, you can do wonders. But no, the Democrats, the Democrats just say, no, all white people are racist, and and things that would be traditionally considered racist. But because the Democrats say it, and they're in control of the media as of date, because of all those reasons, they don't get called racist, because they're in control of the media. And if you're in control, and if your political party is in control of the media, you say racist things, you aren't considered racist, because it just becomes the apparent norm. Simple along the lines of that. So yeah. And like I said again, math and writing is not racist. Again, like what I said with how, regardless of your skin color, you can do wonders as long as you work hard enough. I believe that if you put the work in hard enough with reading and math and writing, you can do wonders. You can have a fantastic vocabulary and say fantastic words that a lot of people might not know the definition to. Which is just spectacular. And it will do wonders for you in the job field and stuff along that. That is, if this nation doesn't suffer high inflation, which it is currently, because of, Joe Biden's, Why am I getting political? I promised myself I wouldn't get political. I promised myself I wouldn't get too political. But we're here. But so anyway, yeah. So like, yeah. There is like currently going to be mass inflation because like Joe Biden, he basically gave the incentive for people not to work because he's just constantly giving them money. Well, they're staying at home, and and the common average person thinks that, I'm getting more money just staying home than at working. I think I'm going to stay home. And, stuff along with that. And so it's giving the incentive for the common person, for the common worker, that I don't need to work. I don't need to work when I'm getting paid so much more to watch TV and just sit around and do whatever I please. And so he's creating that environment for work and like employment, which is why unemployment is so high. Stuff along with that. And technically now that I think about it, making writing appear inherently racist, while also making everyone want to stay home, getting paid money to stay home, is a great way. It is an ingenious way to make people like depend on the government. Because if people are idiotic, like if the common person becomes idiotic and can't write and becomes illiterate and stuff along with that, and also they just stay home, the government does all the work, then the government effectively controls the population. The population of the nation effectively becomes slaves to the government, right? I mean, if you look back into the slavery days of America, the slaves were not allowed to read or write. They were punished if they ever tried to learn to read and write. Because if the slaves learned how to read and write, well then they would become educated to the fact that they are slaves. See, because they weren't literate, because they didn't know how to read or do math or education in general, they thought that this way of life that they were in was the right way of life to live in. Okay? But then they got education and realized that that's not the right way to live. And then, you know, the Civil War found out slavery was bad, which it is. And then, you know, a little while later, Civil Rights era, Martin Luther King says, I have a dream. And he says that I believe a person it should be based on the content of the content rather than the color of the skin. And yeah, and then we come to today, where society is just, you know, ignoring what Martin Luther King said and fought for until the day he died. Think about that. No. Instead, we're going the Malcolm X route, which, if you don't know, which, you know, I don't know why you wouldn't know Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a person from the Civil Rights era. He lived at the exact same time as Martin Luther King. You know, they were the two civil rights leaders. You know, while Martin Luther King was the peaceful civil rights leader, was, in my opinion, is the person that should be followed, and we should believe in his teachings. Society is now going down the path of Malcolm X. Now, Malcolm X, unlike Martin Luther King Jr., was very militant. Like, he promoted violence and stuff along with that. And, you know, just, you know, basically he believed that, you know, stuff, you know. I can't tell you exactly, because I don't want to say things that he didn't say, or say things that he believed that he really didn't believe. You know? I don't think he's alive today, so he couldn't fight his point. And, you know, that's just unfair, you know? Regardless of how militant or how peaceful they were, if they are not alive, you can't talk bad about them because they can't fight back. It's that simple. Something along that. But anyway, yeah. This is Buckalicious, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Oh, and also, I'm going to be away for like a week or so you're not going to see like videos from me for like a whole week or so. So just keep that in mind, and yeah, hello Pagaria. Hey everyone, I just wanted to remind you to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the future, and as always, I love Pokemon.